I'm Brian. I joined community service about a year and a half ago.
And I'm Ricky. I'm one of the original founders of community service.
And I've been doing retail for a long time. It's always been something that I've been pretty decent at, and it's just kind of fallen into place. I think it's always been there as a job I've been interested and wanted to pursue. And the more I worked it, the more the idea came up that one day I wanted to own my own shop. So just kind of stuck with it.
I kind of fell into retail. I was working a lot of other jobs that honestly paid a hell of a lot better. And then I got laid off and randomly ended up working in a mall shop at a skate shop, and had a lot of fun doing it and really enjoyed talking to people and interacting and being part of the industry. And I just continued to work retail after that because it was more enjoyable. I got to meet more people. I got to do different things throughout the day. It didn't seem like I was constantly doing the same action. And now I'm up to 16, almost 17 years of retail experience. We were trying to create a Colorado boutique. You go to California, you go to New York, you go to Florida, whatever. They all have their certain types of boutiques. You go to Cali, most of the time it's marble, acrylic furniture, that sort of stuff. You go to New York, probably downstairs in a very small area. It's going to be a real long building, and it's going to be very narrow. Ours, we wanted to do something that was like wide open, very tall ceilings, more industrial, kind of built around what Colorado is. We're a state that does shit.
This place is rough. Colorado's a rough state. It's rugged. It's mountains. It's it's outdoorsy, and this is these people have the best of both worlds. You get your outdoorsy mountain life, and we're in Denver. We've got the city. You know what I mean? So we wanted to be able to bring that rugged atmosphere.
I think one of the biggest things that makes a real high-level brand, or somebody who's going to get to a high level, is direction. You gotta have direction, and everybody always talks about, well, my brand's gonna be the shit, it's gonna be at the top, I'm gonna make a lot of money. That's not a direction, that's a goal. Good, You have a goal, where's your plan? What's your idea to get there? And most people don't have that. I'm gonna develop shirts, I'm gonna make cool logos, I'm gonna, whatever. They didn't come up with a whole methodology to what they're trying to create. Whereas when you look at brands like LRG or Crooks, or the brands he's been talking about, is they had an idea of what they wanted to be about, and they never changed that. LRG was always about supporting artist-driven work and creating different pieces out of that are going to be custom and unique, and that other people are not going to have in their collection. They also then went into, like he said, creating the messages, like adopt children, not styles. Things like that make people think, that make people want to maybe grasp onto this brand because it fits with more of their lifestyle and what they're about. Then you have the ones like Crooks, who obviously go a little bit more of a thuggish kind of gangster approach, but at the same time, if you actually know about Crooks and Castles and what their message is and what they're trying to do, there's a whole different line there that other people are just unaware of. Like, even just the explanation of Crooks and Castles itself. They talk about every empire had a crook somewhere in the past, and that's how they got to the top. And the castles are your goals. That's what you're trying to reach. That's what you're trying to get to. So people look at the brand, they hear Crooks and Castles, they think, oh, stealing and thievery and all this stuff, when in reality, they're just talking about getting theirs and making it to the top the way that they can.
And so, it's a matter of, doing whatever you have to do to get to your castle, whatever, your goal is your end result, but it's the journey that's really going to get you there.
So I think the biggest thing with creating your brand is to look at, who are you? What do you want to be? Where do you want your brand to go? Why do you want it to go there? What do you want to represent? And it shouldn't be based on money. If you are basing it on, this will make me cash, don't do it. Don't make it.
Yeah, that's perfect. Grow Project even had their new Infinity line. I love it. I think it's perfect. Staying rooted, but always branching out is perfect, and adding in the infinity kind of play on that is that, you're always going to be there. We're a constant, We're always pushing, we're always driving, we're always moving forward. So, having a direction and having a point where this is where we're headed and this is the path, and we're going to follow that.
If you don't know what you're doing and you're not trying to follow forward with that whole plan, we're not going to be behind you, because I'm not going to bring in something that's going to fall apart 3 months later because you don't know what you're doing. So,
and we have our path that we know what it is and where we would like to see the store go eventually. And other brands that approach us, if that doesn't fall in line with the path that we're trying to take and the direction that we're headed with with community service, we don't need it. you're pulling us away from what we're trying to get and where we're trying to head. So, we really try to pay attention to the brands that help us focus on our path and our direction, and that are supporting that same direction.
We're a word of mouth and socially based company. We don't do a hell of a lot of advertising that's like, oh, we printed this ad, we put this in a newspaper, we don't do that shit. First off, I don't think it will help us.
Yeah.
Secondly, that's not really where our market is. Our people are online. Our people are, looking at the hype sites and things like that. They're not necessarily flipping through the Sunday paper like, oh, what's new down at community service, and half the people don't even read the paper anymore, so it would almost be a pointless waste of time. So the way I look at it is us communicating with our customers and getting them to follow us and be a part of the store and want to tell their friends about it and want to get people down here just because they like the shop. That's really what has made us what we are. Most of what has been done with the store and what we carry and the way we talk about the shop and even the name of the things we do here is all through our customers. We started the name Community Service. They created ComServe. They created the CS Army. They created our street team. This was all our customers, I'd love to take credit and say it was everything that we did that made this the way the store, we brought it along, but if we didn't have them, we wouldn't be anywhere.
A smaller version of his own personal Jesus figure immersed in the current and cold circles of freezing winter.